Hello everyone, I hope you are all having an amazing day. I'm Dorothea from Croby Patterns and today I'm going to share with you how to make a Minion Inspired Crochet Baby Shoes. This is not a brand new pattern, it has been available on my blog a while now, but as a written pattern only. Before we jump into what we will need for this tutorial and the tutorial itself, let me just say that you can find all the links, so links to the written pattern, my online shops and links to the yarn I'm using in the description box below. The pattern presented in this tutorial is for 0 to 6-month-old babies. As always, if you have any questions, tips and tricks or ideas what should we do next, please leave a comment down below. With all this said, let me show you what you will need for this tutorial. You will need some DK weight yarn in 5 colors: yellow, black, white, blue and grey. I'm using 100% cotton yarn, 3.5mm or E4 crochet hook, scissors, yarn needle and a stitch marker. Now that we have all we need, let's start with the tutorial. We will start with the already finished crochet baby sole. So if you are not familiar with how I do my crochet baby soles or you are not coming from the sole tutorial, please pause the video here, click on the link in the description box or here in the right corner and watch that video first. The pattern for my crochet baby sole is always the same, that's why you can find it in the separate video. I do not include it in my baby shoe tutorials anymore because not filming and editing the same thing, in this case tutorial for the sole part, over and over again saves me a tremendous amount of time, which I can now devote to my new crochet projects. We will start with the same color of yarn as we were using for the sole. This is in my case yarn in blue color. Start in the middle of the heel. So if you cut the yarn, just find the middle of the heel and join the yarn with chain 1, then you will start with the first stitch. If you didn't cut the yarn, as you can see here, just chain 1 and continue with your first stitch. Round 1. Work 1 back post half double crochet stitch around each stitch all the way around. If you are not familiar with post stitches, they are very simple and more or less the same as normal ones. The only difference is that when you are working post stitches, you are creating the stitch around the stitch from the previous round and not using the loops on the top of the stitch. So yarn over first. Now with the hook coming from the back and around the stitch, yarn over and pull the loop through. You have 3 loops on your crochet hook. Yarn over and pull the loop through all 3 loops on your crochet hook, and your back post half double crochet is done. At the end of this round you should have 44 stitches in total, so the same number of stitches as in our previous round, so the last round of the sole. No additional stitches in this round. You can stop the video here and meet me back when you are 2 stitches before the end of the round, and I will show you how to finish this round and how to start the next one. Now work 1 back post half double crochet into next 2 stitches. Be careful at the end of this round because you have to skip the slip stitch and chain from the previous round. Now join the round with a slip stitch. Take the scissors and cut the yarn and start the next round with the yellow yarn. Round 2. This is our front and this is our back part of our work. Start in the middle of the heel, join the yarn with chain 1, This is the yarn tail that left from our previous round and the yarn tail from this round. And what I will do here is I will crochet my first few half double crochet stitches around the yarn tail, just enough to hide the tail between the stitches. You can do that as well, or you can hide the yarn tail between the stitches later. Start in the same stitch and work one half double crochet stitch all the way around. Do not forget to use the marker so you will know where was your first stitch of this round. This round is made of regular half double crochet stitches, so not around the stitches from our previous round, but into the loops on the top. Again, at the end of this round you should have 44 stitches in total. After the tails are nicely secure between the stitches, cut the remaining yarn and continue working one half double crochet into each stitch all the way around. You can pause the video here and meet me back when you are 2 stitches before the end of the round. So here we are 2 stitches until the end of the round 2. Here you can see these 2 stitches are our last 2 stitches from our previous round, and this one here is chain and slip stitch from the previous round. Make sure you skip the slip stitch. If you've accidentally used it in any of our previous rounds or you will use it in any of our future rounds, you will end up with one additional stitch, which is not so great. So try to learn what is what and always skip the joining stitch in my patterns. So if you're reading any of my written patterns and asking yourself why is not, for the example, 44 half double crochet stitches plus 1 slip stitch, 45 stitches in total, now you know why. Now end the round with a slip stitch made into the first stitch of this round. So here is what we have for now, the sole and 2 rounds of upper part, one made with blue and one made with yellow yarn. Let's continue with round 3. Round 3 is the round we will start with the decreasing stitches, chain 1. Now work 1 single crochet into first 11 stitches. Join the next 2 stitches with a half double 2 together stitch. Now work 1 half double crochet stitch into each of next 2 stitches. Repeat half double crochet 2 together stitch, 1 half double crochet into next 2 stitches 4 more times, so 5 times altogether. Join next 2 stitches with half double 2 together stitch. Now finish the round with 1 single crochet into next 11 stitches. Join the round with a slip stitch and our round is now complete. Let's start with round 4. But before we start, I will show you a little trick that I use all the time. Sometimes the seam on the back just isn't the way it should be. It's more and more on the right with every round we make, and it starts to look bad on the front side of the shoe because round part that covers the toes isn't in the middle anymore as well. So what I do is I skip the first stitch of the round, I start in the second one, and I finish the round with my last stitch made into the slip stitch, which I would normally skip. And this helps me to push the round a bit into the left. If you are still in the middle of the heel and your seam on the heel is right in the middle of the heel, skip this part and start in the very first stitch of this round. Chain 1 and work 1 single crochet into next 12 stitches. Work 1 half double crochet into the next one. Join next 2 stitches with a half double 2 together stitch. Now repeat double crochet 2 together stitch 4 times. Join next 2 stitches with a half double 2 together stitch. One half double crochet into the next one. Work 1 single crochet into each of last 12 stitches. As you can see here, I am 1 stitch short because I started this round in a second stitch instead of my first stitch of this round. That's why I will end this round with my last stitch made into the slip stitch from the previous round. Now join the round with a slip stitch. Round 5. We will start the round with chain 1. Start in the very first stitch and work 1 single crochet into next 11 stitches. Now join next 2 stitches with a half double 2 together stitch. Repeat double crochet 2 together stitch 3 times. Again, join next 2 stitches with a half double crochet 2 together stitch. Work 1 single crochet into last 11 stitches. Now join the round with a slip stitch. Round 6 and 7 are exactly the same. Both are made of half double crochet stitches, so one half double crochet stitch into each stitch all the way around. That's 27 stitches in total. We will start with a chain 1 and in the very first stitch of the round, and then we will end the round with skipping the slip stitch from our previous round and joining the round with a new slip stitch into the very first stitch of the round. I will show you the first few stitches of this round, so round 6, then you can pause the video and meet me back a stitch or two before you end the round 7. So here we are at the end of round 7, work one half double crochet into each of last 3 stitches and join the round with a slip stitch. Now you can cut the yarn, pull the loop through because our next 2 rounds will be made with the black yarn. You won't need much, just a small amount, and then we will go back to our yellow yarn. So these 2 rounds are exactly the same as our 2 previous ones, so round 6 and 7. They are both made of 27 half double crochet stitches. Find the stitch that is right in the middle of the heel, join the yarn and chain 1. Start in the same and work one half double crochet stitch into each of next 27 stitches. Skip the slip stitch wherever you will come across it and make sure you end the round with 27 stitches. Join each round with a slip stitch. As you can see here, I am crocheting around the yarn tails, so you can do that as well, or you can hide the tails between the stitches later, whichever you prefer. Let me repeat, start with chain 1, then work one half double crochet into each of next 27 stitches, skip the slip stitch from the previous round and join the round with a slip stitch. Now you can pause the video here, finish your rounds of half double crochet stitches made with black yarn and meet me back when you are done. Now that we finished both rounds, we can cut the yarn and pull the loop through. Now we will take a small amount of yellow yarn and we will start with our final 2 rounds for the upper part of the shoe. First off, we will join the yarn in the stitch that is exactly in the middle of the heel. Chain 1. This round is exactly the same as our previous round, so round 6, 7, 8 and 9. It is made of 27 half double crochet stitches and slip stitch at the end to join the round. I will show you the first few ones, then meet me back stitch or 2 before you end this round. 1 stitch left, make sure you skip the slip stitch. Now join the round with a slip stitch and then we will start with our final round, round 11. This is our last round of the upper part. Now chain 1, start in the very first stitch of the round. Now work 1 single crochet into each stitch all the way around. At the end of this round, you should have, like in our previous 5 rounds, 27 stitches in total. Please pause the video here and meet me back when you will be stitch or 2 before the end of this round. Now work 1 single crochet stitch into the last one, join the round with a slip stitch and cut the yarn and fasten off. Each eye is made of 3 rounds, 2 rounds of half double crochet stitches and 1 round of slip stitches. We will start with a magic ring and a small amount of black yarn. We will wrap the yarn around the fingers, then we will grab the loop on the back of the hand and chain 1. Now work 8 half double crochet stitches into the magic ring. Join the round with a slip stitch and cut the yarn and pull the loop through. This is round 2. Now take a small amount of white yarn, join the yarn and chain 1, start in the same stitch. Work 2 half double crochet stitches into each of next 8 stitches. Make sure you skip the slip stitch at the end of the round and join the round with a new slip stitch. Cut the yarn and pull the loop through. This is our final round, round 3, so take a small amount of grey yarn and work one slip stitch into each stitch all the way around, including the slip stitch from the previous round, so 19 stitches in total, but work all the stitches into the back loops only, so skip the front loop and use the back loops only. Cut the yarn, pull the loop through and hide all the tails. You will need 2 eyes for each shoe one. You can attach them using the thread and a needle, or you can glue them on the shoe using the hot glue gun. Okay guys, that would be all for today. Thank you so much for watching, I hope you've learned something new. If you like crocheting and following tutorials like this one, make sure you subscribe so you will be first to know when I upload something new. All the links to my blog, where you can find the written patterns, and shops where you can find my premium crochet patterns are in the description box below. Do not forget to tag me on social media using #CrobyPatterns if you decide to use any of my patterns. I always love to see your creations using my designs. Say hello in the comments below and tell me what would you like to see next. Until next time, bye!